Once a child, there's a fire there inside ya. Unbridled, blazing wild, full of desire. Tried the world, but then the world denied ya. Ha!
It has been too many years too long, and I just want to personally apologize. My account has been just empty, but I'm just going to be transparent and I'm going to be honest about what's been going on. So there's been a lot of transitions. My last couple of videos kind of was explaining how I was on active duty, fresh off the commissioning, and ready to kind of just hit it hard on active duty as an LT. Now I'm getting ready to promote to captain, but I'm in the reserve. So a little bit of a backstory. I ended up getting off active duty in order to take care of some family stuff. Still taking care of some family stuff. We'll get into that in a little bit. But the idea was to make sure that I could be more present. And I was all the way across the country in Colorado. My family was in the South. I was like, you know what? Something's going to have to give. Initially, I went into the IRR, which is the inactive ready reserve. Basically, service doesn't touch you unless it's an absolute need. And mostly people who have things going on back home and family go into the IRR, or you can go into it 2 years after, or 2 years before the end of your contract. And so thankfully I had a really good leadership to be able to be transparent with and let them know what I needed and what needed to happen at home in order for me to perform well and to carry on my obligation in the service. So kind of fast forward, playing TT Mama with my partner Maya. I have my 2 nieces right now and my mother, and so we're just figuring it out right now. We're still in Georgia, probably going to make another transition soon. Stay tuned for that. And that's really kind of what it is. But now what I really want to talk about is being able to kind of record this journey. For so long I've been in my head about it needs to look like this, it needs to be like this, but the whole time I just need to do it. I just need to start. So I came up with every excuse in the book to just not, and to have it in my head, and it was just eating at me. I'm looking like, you know what, you gotta do something, because recording and editing and all that, I have been doing that since I was probably 8 years old. Like, granted, times have changed and there are some things I need to brush up on, and that's okay. I have to be okay with being a beginner again. And that's kind of been another transitional theme in my life as well, beginning again. So often we're looking like, oh my goodness, I have to start over. But starting over is good. It's not always bad. It's like you have to figure out why you're starting back over. What is it that you can take from starting back over and figuring that out. A big motivator for being able to get back in the camera and tell it how it is I had a workshop and with some other colleagues, and a colleague pulled me aside and he kind of just was like, you know, you articulate very well, like, what's your background? Sir, what? Nobody has ever asked me that question before. And I was like, wow, you're very observant. But not that, you know, I was waiting to get asked that question. I've just never been asked about like what my background is and what this is. And then so we started kind of talking, and the fact that we're on 2 separate spectrums, he's a Caucasian male, I'm a black female, and so it's kind of like, it was very interesting, a very interesting interaction. And my colleagues always say that I articulate well and I speak well, but I'm looking like I have so much I have to work on. But I appreciate y'all for, you know, noticing that. I need to take a sip of tea. Allergies is kicking my butt. Ashe. But allergies is almost took me out this year, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you. But yeah, so we kind of just started to talk and get into the nitty gritty, and it caused me to reflect a little bit more that day. Like, am I supposed to speak? Is this something that I should pursue? Because for so long people were like, you're right. And you know how you ask God or the universe or the creator, however, whatever you all believe in, you know how you just kind of ask that question, like, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I here for? I think I kind of been struggling with that a little bit with identity, and my homegirls are talking about the imposter syndrome, looking like I'm going through that right now. But it's like the burnout and the expectation to perform well has been weighing heavy on my spirit. And I'm just kind of, this is my way of breaking out of it and not allowing it to have control over me, my mindset, or my future, right? So I want to be able to be this transparent, be able to be an example, because ultimately I want these vlogs to be something I leave behind for my nieces. I have 8 of them, right? I have 8 nieces. I have 2 that are older than me, 2 that are a few months younger than me. I got babies in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th, right? So ultimately, I want my intention to be circled around giving them these videos or these memoirs, these video memoirs, ultimately for them, because I think if they can learn from my mistakes, my victors, and be able to utilize that as fuel for the next generation, because this is their generation, by all means, TT got y'all, and I want to be able to present that for them. So being pulled aside and being complimented on how I articulate and how I speak was encouraging. And it made me want to look a little bit more, dust off the camera, get back in front of it, and just kind of do my thing. I enjoy technology. I love being able to be geeked out in certain things. I watch several YouTubers, Siobhan, Andre, Simon. I watch almost all of them, just taking in Marquise, like, and I'm encouraged, because it's like y'all do this with you do it meticulously with like no effort. It looks like it, but behind the scenes they're putting in work, they're staying up late, they're grinding, and that makes me encouraged to, what, I want to find a community within that. And so I know I have to put in the hours. I have to get rid of those excuses. I need to brush off not feeling like I'm not worthy of being able to create content, because I bleed it, to be honest. If I'm gonna be honest and slightly and humble at the same time, like, I'm always thinking about something, the next thing. I'm writing scripts, I'm always producing something, but the thing is, it can never go full to production because I'm in my own way, if that makes sense. And so this is my official takeoff, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to be more consistent. I'm going to be more active on social media. Follow me. I'm going to have it right here for y'all. And I want to build a community. If you're thinking about getting into content, creating, posting videos, starting your own YouTube channel, by all means, I think you should do it. Don't do it in hopes to gain a following. Do it for yourself first, and then initially you'll gain that momentum to figure out what your intention is. So again, to reiterate, what my intention is with this channel from now on is to build a community, not only for the public, but for my nieces when they get older, when they're able to navigate through the digital world, because this world is theirs ultimately. And I want to be able to be present even when I'm no longer here. You feel me? So baby girls, I love y'all, and I hope I make you proud. Ask me questions and I got you.
I used to walk around with that heavy weight on me, filled with everyone's opinions and insecurities. Couldn't spread my wings and take off like I knew I should be. Stuck on the ground until now I found my maturity. And while I'm